I got a Nintendo Switch. All soy boy and wife's boyfriend let me play jokes aside, I've been enjoying it, although my girlfriend did break up with me right around the time I started playing it, so maybe there's some truth to the meme. But anyways, what does a PlayStation fanboy like me think about Nintendo's latest console? First and foremost, the most vital thing for a console to be received well is the games you can play with it. No matter how well designed a console is, it won't matter unless there are good games to play on it. PlayStation. And Nintendo has excelled at producing a vast library of diverse and exceptional games. As someone who only had PlayStation consoles for this generation up to this point, there's no denying that PlayStation offers a library of superb games, but after a while I've started to desire just a little more variety in the games. Not to say that God of War is the same experience as Ghost of Tsushima, but let's face it, the top of the line experiences that PlayStation offers is usually a single player cinematic story driven action adventure game, plus a Souls game every couple years. I've been craving a good platformer for so long, and Crash Bandicoot just isn't really my thing. And then I hated Astrobot. I know I'm in the minority, but that was such an easy boring baby game where you just push forward on the stick. I don't get the acclaim. But anyways, I know you can get more variety from third-party and indie games, but what I really appreciate about Nintendo and the Switch is you're getting the top of the line for so many different genres. 3D platformers, 2D platformers, arcade racers, fighting games, party games, Metroidvania games, the list goes on and on. I mean, the first 3 games I had for the Switch were a 3D platformer, a flight combat game, and a fighting game. All so much different than the shooters or third-person action adventure games I've been playing on PlayStation. Mario Odyssey came out in October of 2017. It's almost 7 years old, and has not aged one bit. Not only are the games great, but I found they complement the design of the console so well, and it makes it feel like there was actually a reason for a new console design when Nintendo designed the Switch. Look at the PS5 or the Xbox Series X compared to their last generation counterpart. Playing a PS5 or Xbox Series X is the same experience as playing a PS4 or Xbox One, just slightly better performance. The PS4 can play almost all of the games that are available on the PS5. This new console generation has basically felt like just getting a new PS4 Pro. Something I appreciate about Nintendo is that their console generation leaps don't just focus graphics, but actual experiences. The NES were the humble beginnings. The SNES mastered 2D gaming with fluidity, beautiful art styles, and satisfying game physics and sounds, all that weren't possible on the NES. The Nintendo 64 explored a whole new dimension with 3D, and the GameCube mastered 3D and expanded on it in ways that weren't possible on the 64's hardware. The Wii introduced a fun and new way to play games with motion controls. The Wii U. And then the Switch allowed you to experience full, real, non-mobile games mobile. Graphics aside, you can feel the difference in experience when you play different Nintendo consoles. A party game on the GameCube will not be controlled the same as a party game on the Wii. Mario Galaxy has longer, more linear levels and challenges to complete to get a star because the devs knew you would be at home in front of your TV and likely have the time. But Mario Odyssey was designed to be able to go and get a moon in 1 minute because it's possible that you're playing this game quickly while you're waiting for a flight or in the car or on a fancy millennial rooftop party. I also am pretty happy with the console itself. It's just big enough to be able to see what you're doing, but also small enough to be easily taken with you wherever you go. I think the Joy-Cons feel good to play with, and I'm impressed that one can be used as a full controller when you want to play with a friend. I might be jaded because my MacBook Pro starts to melt and dies in an hour of just watching YouTube videos, but I've been really impressed with the battery. I've played Mario Odyssey on a flight for 4 hours and have not even come close to having the battery die. And the console doesn't get hot either. I've never got a console near the end of its generation, but it's nice to have a huge library of great games to choose from. I'm a little annoyed though that basically all the major games are still full price. I grew up with Nintendo consoles, playing SNES and Nintendo 64 before I even knew how to read, and would continue with the GameCube and Wii until I finally got a PS3. The Wii U was the first Nintendo console I didn't have, and I just kinda got used to not playing Nintendo games. But it's been a great nostalgic and comforting experience to come back to the Nintendo franchises that I'd grown up with. I can definitely say that I think the Switch was worth it. Does this mean this PlayStation fanboy has turned into a Nintendrone? Nope. Sorry, angry YouTube guy. PlayStation will always be number one and way better than PC.